Candidates clashing on everything from trade to taxes, but did they get their facts straight? Here to fact check the first debate is Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce. Nice to see you this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The term fact checking was thrown around a lot last night. Let's talk about trade. This was something that Donald Trump hit Hillary Clinton on hard, and he said that you've called TPP the gold standard of deals. Listen.
You want to approve Trans-Pacific Partnership. You were totally in favor of it.
That is just not accurate.
You called it the gold standard.
You called it the gold standard. True or false?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And what's interesting, this has been a problem for Mrs. Clinton for a while, is that she was for it. Dozens of times she articulated in public that she was for it, and she's been called on that she was flip-flopping, and yet she still tries to reinforce a different kind of version. But what she was doing here also was interesting in that it was an actual phrase, that it's the gold standard. At one point there, she said, no, I said that I'd hoped that it would be. That's completely false.
So
and these are things that we can prove.
Yeah, we have tape. Here's the exact tape.
Excellent.
Take a listen.
This TPP sets the gold standard in trade agreements to open, free, transparent, fair trade.
All right, there you go. All right, the global warming hoax last night. Clinton slammed Donald Trump for saying that, in the past you've said that global warming is a hoax. Here's that exchange. Listen.
Donald thinks that climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. I think it's real.
So true or false? Did Donald Trump say that?
Well, he tweeted it. Now, at one point, Mr. Trump has noted that tweets don't really count in a certain way. I think he's moved beyond that. But he did put out a tweet that said that the concept of global warming was created by the Chinese to help their merchandising dynamic, their manufacturing. So he did do that. After he was called on that, after that tweet, he said that it in fact was a joke. But I think that this is showing that while Mr. Trump uses the absurd and he does joke a lot, that when you're running for president, that people do take you seriously and they take you literally, that Twitter does matter when it comes to what you say, and he's learning that. So that is true, and we do know that he believes effectively that it's not exactly man-made, but in general, in that point, she was absolutely right, and he deserves to have heard that because it was true.
Fact-checking on the tax plans. This was one of the top trending topics last night. People wanted to know about taxes. This affects all of us. Here was that exchange. Watch.
Independent experts have looked at what I've proposed and looked at what Donald's proposed, and basically they've said this, that if his tax plan, which would blow up the debt by over $5 trillion and would, in some instances, disadvantage middle-class families compared to the wealthy, were to go into effect, we would lose 3.5 million jobs.
We would lose 3.5 million jobs. Is that true or false? Well,
there's one expert, and she said some experts that the Washington Post covered, who's been very anti-Trump, that says that very thing. So that is true in what she's asserting. But you can also find, quote, some experts who would assert the opposite, that each campaign can find people who say that what they're saying is true or blow up what the other campaign is saying. But that gets even a little bit into the weeds with what she was doing there. What we do know is that Mr. Trump is proposing the 15% tax on businesses. She's increasing taxes on businesses, and the arguments are, of course, lower taxes on businesses creates more jobs. So what Americans want to know is, will we have a chance for a change in the dynamic? And that's what they care about, I think, more than the weeds of whether, and if someone's in the bureaucracy or if someone's in the establishment.
And see if that Trump down economics thing works.
Yes, exactly. We'll see if that sticks.
Tammy, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much.